sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Carr going to throw right away. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Play action. Now it's Carr. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at the 33-yard line. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That play blown up on a really nice hit by Jerry Tillery. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Wilson now off the bootleg. And that is incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. White now to return. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Adams. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And Jacobs, I don't think he's going to get there, no. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they have
out.
that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson being chased out left. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more. And it was right there.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. About 3 yards there to the 27. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Field goal unit and Brian Johnson out there. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up down the numbers. There he goes. The 30. 10. 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Well, we did, in fact, get our first points of the game on the field goal attempt. Just, maybe not the way that we expected with a return the other direction.
And right now, you know what's popping into my brain? That adage every coach says to us, if you block a kick and score off of it, 95% of the time, your team wins the game. I can't quantify the numbers, but it certainly seems to work out that way.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Last time, that little bit of a special teams breakdown, that field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, Wilson. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. Tim Patrick, 78 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone? After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. To throw is Wilson.
That one threw away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up the 3rd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you open up lanes for your runners.
Now it's Wilson.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. And Johnson's kick is good.
And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that 1st quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you gotta like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the 2nd quarter. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
P.J. Hall there to make the tackle. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
This time, Wilson will throw. And no
He went to the
option
mailbox
here
too?
but to throw it away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late.
So everything in this house in my name.
And fighting
Oh,
to
that's
keep him out of
the.
the end zone as the
I gotta
first
text
half
him about
winds
that
down.
because they never canceled this shit. Hmm? Yeah, it's only one. It's supposed to be 3.
Now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Touchdown.
Sprint? No, we never canceled it. He never canceled it. So, like, they called me.
And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Carr. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two up.
That's caught at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Devontae Adams with career touchdown number 75.
And the Raiders have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Looking deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He's going to take another shot here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
Phillips now from the end zone.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Back to the ground on first down, Edmonds. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Cherry Tillery running in there and setting him down.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath.
Nathaniel Hackett apparently disagrees with the ruling on the field, and he's going to challenge this one. So the challenge not a successful one, as this will stay an incomplete pass.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, it's White. On the return, picked up some good blocks as well. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. Room here to run.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. The left side throw complete to Adams.
And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as he's out of bounds at the 2.
A first down for Devontae Adams in his first season with the Las Vegas Raiders. Over the previous 2 years in Green Bay, he led the NFL in receptions and touchdowns, and he's building off of a 123-catch, 1,500-yard season. Now, of course, in Raiders black and silver instead of Packers green and gold.
Jacobs. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one good for 26 and a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in here by Patrick. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 33. So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Once again, it's Jacobs.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 110 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now they'll throw with Carr. They'll roll him out right. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. From midfield, here's Carr. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch. but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Give that sack to the linebacker, Jayon Brown. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fielded at the 33. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Taken down at the 42. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
It's a big play there for Vegas. 42 yards.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Raiders might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he is not going to get in there. He stopped short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Phillips now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 41.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Carr. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Carr to throw. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Raiders are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Phillips now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
He's going to let it fly.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he cannot pull it in.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try to throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Will be incomplete as well.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was...
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown.
I am harder than I ever been. Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates. All my balls on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me. And my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wilding out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Heart of a lion, my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, move.